Alrighty then. Today we'll take a look at how to play an AFV in the Spec Ops mission Plague. That's this one, the Apocalypse one. So I've already pre-recorded a battle. Because the reason I do this is because I hear a lot of people complain about AFVs dying way too fast. So I pre-recorded this game, did almost 55k damage, 22 destroyed, 16 spotted. Top on pretty much everything except spotting. So yeah, let's take a look at how that game went. So there's a few key positions that I want to highlight and that you can actually use pretty reliably. I mean, this game is by far not a perfect game. I mean, I could probably try and get a perfect game as well, but the whole point of showing a non-perfect game is that the strategy also works if you kind of fail on a few things or if things don't really go as planned. So now we just wait until we're loaded in. Now we'll just be commenting the gameplay as it progresses. As you see, my PC isn't the fastest, so loading takes some time. But then again, it goes to show that you don't need like a super pro setup to actually play well. The beautiful cutscene. I think we can speed it up a little bit. So what I always do first is just go to the nearest cap and make sure you cap it. And there's always teammates that don't know that caps exist, they don't know how to drive into them, so if nobody else does it, you have to do it. So here I would like to try and sit on the ridge. As you see, the team just doesn't cap. But what I would normally do is what the K21 is doing, just sitting there, because you can actually shoot that trap that spawns there. That's what I'm trying to do now. Because I hit the wheels first and the second shot next. And then as there's nothing more to do, you just drive down and you go for the next caps. Cheeky handbrake turn. For those of you that don't know, you make a handbrake turn while pressing spacebar. It's the same as water tanks. And another cheeky handbrake turn. The beautiful flags waving in the wind. Vive la France. And then I just try to make sure I get as close to the gate as possible. You can actually drive in the cutscene, but I mean it saves you like a second or 5, so it's not really worth it. Down the slope as straight as possible, otherwise you'll probably turn around. Now this bit is a little bit tricky because if there's a hunter AFV that spawns, you can actually double tap you. So what you do is you smoke that and you shoot to your smoke. You just kind of have to guess like where the last position was. Here you can see I'm desperately trying to get a shot on the hunter AFV. That smoke was kind of wasted. Because where you would need your smoke is here. because I wasted my smoke earlier. I take the swings there. And as you see, I get bumped around the teammates as well. So then what you need to do is you need to get back and make sure you get the back pillboxes, because those things are pretty much impossible to hit from where the Leclerc is unless he actually drives around them. And as many of you have experienced probably while playing, there are certain teammates that just are completely oblivious to the fact that there actually are pillboxes or enemy or whatever, and they just let them shoot the warship. So as you can see in the corner here, we've already lost a third of the HP of the warship, which is actually pretty bad. Here I'm kind of lucky that the AI infantry doesn't spot me, because those things are always going to do full damage to a Sphinx. And here my aim is kind of potato. Hit the second one though. Okay, so the next position is going to be in here. I've also got a ZDQ video up where I sit a little bit further back, but I figured like you can just as well sit here. It's pretty much the same angle and you get the same kind of shots. Only issue now is that up there there's a sniper. So I'm still shooting there, but the moment I poke out a little bit too far, like here, the moment the smoke disappears, you could actually get shot by the sniper. And like getting shot by the sniper is not that bad, but getting designated is, because the AI will actually focus you down if you're designated. Next position is behind this bush. Of course I'm very lucky and it's a T-14. That's pretty much the hardest thing to reliably damage with rockets because of the ABS. As you can see, like there's pretty much nothing you can pen on the side of that, even when it's angled like that. First shot misses, second one hits. That's the soft kill APS. And I just keep on shooting. And then autocannon the tracks a little bit, simply so he stays in that angle. And then the next one should finish him off. And of course I waste another rocket because I'm a bot. I mean, the Sphinx only gets 30 rockets, so at this point in the game I think I only have like 10 rockets left. Which is mostly my own fault, to be honest. Shoot the AI while driving. And as you see, there's still like 4 pillboxes up and nobody is shooting them. So then your role with the AFV, with the autocannon, is going to be to take those out. Some MBTs are actually gonna struggle even hitting those as well if they're too close. So now I try to drive up this little hill here. Doesn't work because physics. But on second try it works. And again, my potato aim makes sure that I miss both shots. I am spotted here, so I need to smoke. Okay, so that's already 15k damage in the bag. So the next play is actually key for AFVs. You don't want to go where the MBTs are, because you're just shooting at the fronts of MBTs. Like wherever that Leclerc is, that's just not worth it. Identify target. So here I want to designate the object, but because the type is actually driving through it, it's a little bit hard. I managed to do so in the end, but the thing is I'm designated here as well because of the sniper. The replay file doesn't show it. So actually in retrospect what you should do is probably first kill the sniper that's on the little balcony. And here I'm out of rockets, so I just drown, respawn, and I've got full ammo, full HP. The reason I don't want to use my Q button is because I'm gonna need it later in the game. Because later in the game the position is more difficult to get to. So you want to use your Q button there so you can stay in position. And here I just blind fire through the smoke. I sort of remembered where they were. I mean, an autocannon is not gonna pen the side of a 640, so I really need my rockets here. Designated him again. both of them hit ERA, so they didn't pen. And only do chip damage on the exam. They didn't really have a clear shot on the lower plate there, so then it's hard to pen. So then I just designate the XM as well. That's like the thing, if you have a designate target and you cannot pen the target, you might just as well designate it. Helps the enemy do more damage. Or helps your teammates do more damage, I must say. And in this sort of a mission you kind of need your teammates as well, so helping your teammates is always a good thing. Here I have the back of an XM, which is just easy shots all day. As you can see, it's a little bit hard to hit shots. Had a lucky hit on the T90MS there. But there I hit another ERA panel. You see the XM is kind of blocking most of the shots. But the reason I'm staying here is because there's gonna spawn another wave. And this position is pretty much gonna have perfect shots on the rear of that wave. That's what I'm talking about, it's Terminator, Challenger. So you see I'm actually ignoring the AMX RCR, even though that's way easier to hit than the rear of the Challenger and the Terminator. But the Challenger is harder to take out for the team, so that's why I stuck with the Challenger. There I didn't need the rockets. Okay, so now those waves are gone and I can actually start driving back to the rest of the team. The yeet for speed mode activated. For some reason they're really struggling to kill the Sphinx, so maybe I'm gonna have a shot on the Sphinx. And I drive into the wall because brain damage. There I get a double tap on the Anders. I should have probably shot those rockets at the M1AC in retrospect because I cannot actually pen them, but again I just designated them. Which means that I get the assistance for it. And it helps the team because it's gonna allow them to take it apart faster. Here I just auto aim at the little box that's gonna spawn that you have to shoot so the building collapses. Oh, that's a bug in the replay. I actually auto aimed at the thing. So that's like one kind of thing I would actually say to Armored Warfare is like if you actually want people to share replays and stuff, you might actually want to make sure they aren't bugged. So here I'm blind firing the infantry. You can see those little pillboxes or those little sandbags or whatever they're called. So I've already got 2 of them and I get the sniper as well and the 4th one as well. Like if you have a big gun like the 195, you can actually just shoot HE in the middle of all of those and you can just get them for free in one shot. So in my ZTQ replay I drive down here over the ice. What I'm gonna do now is a little bit more risky, but it doesn't take as much time and it's gonna allow you to do a little bit more damage. But as you can see I'm actually taking more damage for it as well. So what you don't see in the replay is I'm actually using a triple field rebuild kit, one of those experimental ones. The only thing is I actually only needed to use it once. So you can actually do this strat perfectly fine with just one rebuild kit. You don't need the triple one. And since the Leclerc is already engaged by 3 others, you can just get the side for free. Now here the next play is actually pretty critical. I make a small mistake because I don't knock over the right trees. I should have knocked over these left 2, and I should have set where the Anders is sitting. But instead I knock over this one. And the issue with that is that I actually get spotted and I get hit for it as well, so I have to put up smoke. One thing I want to point out is that, again, the team is not shooting the enemy boxes, so I'm gonna have to be the one that does it. And that's like one of the main things. If you have an autocannon, make sure you hit those pillboxes, because otherwise, if the team doesn't shoot them, your ship's gonna go down, and there's no point in even trying to win, because you need the ship to stay alive. So like, damage is fine, but you need to win the game as well. And here I can just designate the challenger again. You see, I'm a little bit too focused on the damage, so I don't really see the enemy AIs. There I see them. Again, got spotted. But if I would have been where the Anders is, a little bit more to the right there, I would actually not have been spotted, I think. If I would have knocked over the right trees. So I'm gonna die here. No problem, just respawn. Usually the respawns do cost credits, but it's pretty much always worth it, especially if you're running premium time as well. You will always make more than enough credits to justify respawning. Plus, you kind of screw over your team as well if you don't respawn. Because like having that one gun less, especially when it's a high DPM one like an autocannon, is really gonna hurt the team. I mean, at this point, 4 people should be more than capable enough to actually deal with the rest of the AI spawns. But as with any multiplayer game, like, teams are really good at throwing games that should have been won easily. So last thing I do is I designate a challenger and shoot a few more rockets. And that's about all I do this game. So we survived with like the slightest little of HP on the warship. But everything that's above 1 is enough. So yeah, that's it. I hope it was useful. I hope you can actually enjoy playing AFVs in Plague now as well. And see you next time. Bye.